When I first got to the Gulf Coast to get the stories of the BP oil spill, I expected to find similarities between the current situation and Hurricane Katrina. It turns out that the two are not really comparable, but they are related. Related because even though Katrina is 5 years distant, the recovery continues, from the Florida Panhandle all the way over to New Orleans. Katrina virtually destroyed the towns of Waveland and Bay St. Louis. Mississippi officials initially estimated that 90% of the structures within 1/2 mile of the coast were completely destroyed. Nearly 300 people were dead or missing. The battle back has been long, and it's been hard fought. So now, to heap the oil spill on top of the Katrina recovery makes for a mighty burden. That's how the two are related. The people are tired. No, they're exhausted. And there's still much more to do. The uncertainty about the long-term impact of the oil and dispersants doesn't help the situation much either. In spite of it all, the communities of the Mississippi Gulf Coast came together to celebrate their journey back from Katrina with a week full of events that kicked off with the Tears to Cheers music festival on the beach in Biloxi.
And we're just honored to be here and to be able to kick off a week-long a whole week of so many different events, and we just want to thank each of you for being here. We're going to focus on hope. Hope is going to be what we're all about today and the rest of the week and the rest of our future here on the coast, that no matter what happens, we can overcome it because we're standing shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, and we help each other. That's what Mississippians do. And out of honor for those that we lost, for those who have been through so much and those that are still going through so much. We've healed a lot, but we are not all the way healed. And at this time, I'd like everyone to bow your head in a moment of silence. Thank you all. This is in remembrance of the things that we lost, the people we lost. But you know what? It is time to celebrate. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Over the course of the following week, there were talent shows, prayer services, several concerts, large and small memorial services, and a big awards gala at the Hard Rock Casino. This was significant because of the sheer volume of people and variety of organizations that not only came from Mississippi, but all around the country. They came down to help after the storm, and many of them are still here 5 years later.
We adopted Ocean Springs, Mississippi as our sister city and raised money in the villages and donated $200,000 to their recovery. Oh, I'm just amazed at the recovery, and I'm amazed at what they've taken place. There's nothing short of what people can do when it comes time to help each other. I'm really impressed with everything I've seen.
Bye, Mom, I'm going to Afghanistan soon.
Are you really?
April.
I'll play it pretty. So you can find your own dance floor. You can do any dances.
We are here to celebrate the many who gave so much to us and who continue to do so. Those who made it possible to move forward. Those who gave us hope in a variety of ways. They are tireless humanitarian agencies, individuals, businesses, artists, churches, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, and if they could sing in unison tonight, perhaps they would sing this. Ain't got time to die, 'cause when I'm feeding the poor, I'm working for the kingdom. Ain't got time to die, 'cause when I'm giving my all, I'm serving my Lord. Ain't got time to die. We thank God they did not take time away from us. We thank God for all of the phenomenal people gathered here tonight, and we welcome you one and all because you truly are phenomenal. Thank you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the man behind the plan, Mr. Bill Stallworth, Executive Director of Hope CDA.
Good evening. Oh, come on now, you can do better. Good evening. Now we're getting somewhere. I just want to really thank everyone. You have warmed our hearts, and we just are so blessed, so very blessed to be here, because without each and every one of you, none of this would have been possible. What we can accomplish together, what we were able to accomplish together, has just been truly outstanding. The thing I told somebody about, Katrina didn't leave us with a lot of things that were good. But one thing that it did leave us with was during those hard days, it was that spirit that was implanted in the people that made so much difference. It was that spirit that was planted in the people that said, if I have a bottle of water, doggone it, you got a bottle of water. If I got a little food, we'll divide it up on 5 different plates and everybody's going to eat a little something. That's what we need to have. So give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, you can do better than that. Come on.
Our keynote speaker tonight is someone that I'm very familiar with. Rebecca Powers has worked at the WLOX for a number of years, and she's quite a phenomenal lady herself. For more than 4 years, Rebecca, who is, by the way, an Associated Press award winner, Peabody winner, she searched and highlighted the people of our coast and people who came here who are really heroes, who helped us just climb out of the rubble from Katrina to accomplish amazing things. And like many in the national media maybe, Rebecca lived here and she lived through the storm. In fact, she almost didn't make it through the storm. She wanted to go home on the Sunday night and be in her own bed before she had to come back to work Monday morning. Well, before she could get out of her house the next Monday morning, as you know, the waves came in, the winds came in, she was trapped, and she had to jump, she and Ben, her husband, they had to jump out of their home, and she was in the water for the next 4 to 5 hours. Amazing story that Rebecca can tell you about how she had to survive Hurricane Katrina. But she did overcome that. In fact, she was at work that night, Monday night, by 5, 6 o'clock at night. Rebecca was at work reporting after she had almost lost her own life there. So Rebecca Powers, would you please come and talk a little bit about amazing people, phenomenal people here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast? We have so many. Rebecca Powers.
I've never really told Dave this, but he's actually one of my heroes because as he said, we were stuck in our home. A pine tree actually fell in our cul-de-sac. And by the time about 6 o'clock rolled around, it started to get dark. And I remember looking out of all the windows of my neighbor's house thinking everyone I love is dead because the tornado hit our little cul-de-sac and there was debris almost as high as the window. So I thought everyone I loved was dead because the TV station is only a block from the beach. But Dave was the one who, in all the chaos and craziness, realized that no one had heard from me because I called the newsroom and said, my house is crumbling. And Natalie said, well, we love you. And when I was in my neighbor's house and a door opened, it was Dave Vincent. And I remember going, oh, thank you, and just hugged him. And in my 15-year career with him, he's never seen me cry. I'm proud of that. You don't cry in the newsroom. You don't cry in the news business. But I cried and hugged him and said, thank you for coming to find us. And the only reason I went to work immediately, Dave, is because we had nowhere else to go. So don't give me too much credit. So my husband and I and our dog Casey, who swam with us, we lived in the audio booth at WLOX for 2 weeks on an air mattress. We had food, we had electricity, but people were literally knocking on the doors saying, because they heard us on the air if they had a little TV or a radio. And some would say, I don't have any food, I don't have any water. We were giving them things. A sheriff's department deputy actually came and knocked on the back door to us and said, Rebecca, I have an injured woman in my car, what hospitals are open? And I knew that we had one hospital open because we had given them gas. So tonight I'd like to honor my friends at WLOX who risked their lives to give life-saving information. If you join me. So once we got all the phones up, the phones in the newsroom were ringing constantly. They were asking for help, much needed information. We were all scrambling. Our newsroom ceiling had blown off. We were all scrambling to find Sharpies that worked, and mayors were knocking on the door. We were saying, come on, get on the air. Tell us what's going on in your city. Tell us where the ice is. Tell us where the amazing National Guardsmen are. But before anyone else were faith-based groups. It was amazing.